Welcome to this video, guys. In this video we're going to learn about exports and imports, a practical example. Okay, before going to that I will tell you what is the use case of this one. See, in a real case we're going to implement different functions in different files. We're not going to implement all the functions or functionalities in a single file, right? So let's suppose in your house we will arrange our bowls, clothes, everything in organized way, right? In the similar fashion in the code also, we will organize our code in a different modules and in different files. And we have to use those things, okay? We'll use something called dry principle, that is don't repeat yourself. That means we'll write a function only once, but we will use so many times. Okay, for that one we have to export that function, then only other files can import this function and they will reuse it, right? So we will look into how we're going to do that. See here, I have written a simple functions of add, multiply, divide and subtract. Okay, do not make complicated, but in real time you will write good code like database operations, third-party operations, cloud operations, whatever the operations is required for your business. Okay, so add, multiply, divide and subtract. Here, see here, I am exporting these things. Okay, add and multiply. Okay, using the exports. Before going to use that, Node.js by default support require, that is common JS functionality. But to use this exports and imports, we have to do a small configuration in package.json, that is this one. Type we have to give as module. Okay, by adding this configuration only, we can use exports and imports in Node.js. Okay, why I'm telling this exports and imports, coming onwards, we are using the TypeScript where we only use exports and imports. We never use required. Okay, but the projects which are working with a pure JavaScript, they're still using the required. There is no harm in that. You can use that. Okay, but it is the latest version and has a better functionalities also. Okay, I will explain one by one. Okay, see here, add and multiply. So we are importing here in the import.js function file. It's add and multiply. Of course, minus is not using it. Okay, okay, add and multiply we are taking with the destructuring syntax. Okay, and I am using the functionality of it. Okay, so let me run the code and show you. Okay, you see 2 plus 3 is a 5, 2 into 3 is a 6. Okay, now see here, there is a default function we are exporting. When you export a default function, okay, when you export a default function, you don't need to do the destructuring syntax. You don't need to give the same function name. You can give a different function name. Okay, now if you see, it still works. Okay, 10 by 2, that is 5 only. Okay, and something called alias. Okay, you can say alias, which is like, let's suppose in our classroom we have 4 guys with the same name called Mohammed. So what teacher will do, they will call with some alias like roll number, their surname, their father name, like that. So in the similar fashion in the code, let's suppose if some senior developer is developed the function called subtract, and you have implemented the same function with a different functionality, then there is a naming collision, right? To avoid that naming collision, we will use this alias syntax. Okay, see here, we are aliasing subtract as minus, and we are importing the minus here, minus here, and we are using it. Okay, the next thing is this one. Let me comment out this code. Star. Okay, this is we call wildcard entry, we can say wildcard, which is meaning that we are importing all the functions which are exported by this method JS. Okay, we're assigning to some variable and then we're using them. Okay, this is called wildcard. Okay, when you're not sure what is all functionalities are there, but don't use this one. That is not good practice. Whatever the things is required, import those things to avoid the load on information. Okay, but it is there, it functionality is there, but use in rare case. And interesting thing is this one. Okay, it is a dynamic import. So dynamic import means it will import in the runtime. So most of the time these kinds of things used in a front end to load the specific components in a specific time. Okay, when the user move to one page to another page, then only they will load the components of that page. Okay, to avoid the slowness of the application in front end. But in backend, why you will use this one? Let's suppose say we want to connect to the database clouds, which where we require the secret keys or secret files. So we want to load those things in a runtime. Okay, we don't configure those things. We will do some string operation to find the file path of that one, and then we will use that one to get the real secret which is inside some cloud, some database. To make those kind of dynamic configurations, getting the secrets, we will use these kinds of imports, dynamic imports. Okay, of course here to explain you I just given a small functionality, but real time this is a use case of this one. Okay, for this one we have to use async await syntax because it will take some time to load the content which is there in the file and everything, so that's why we have to wait. Okay, and then let me execute this code. Okay, this is working. Now let's go to the require one, because the require is still in use, not completely banished. So I'm going to tell that one also. See, this is the module.exports. Okay, so in module.exports we can add whatever the functionalities we want to export. Okay, see, in export also it will actually, what it will do, it will add this functionality to module.exports internally. Okay, and import exports will use those things only internally, but they will handle that one, so we don't need to take care about all these things. But to use this one, okay, we have to do require. Instead of exports and imports we have to do require, and of course we can use destructuring syntax, there is no problem in it. Okay, but in package.json now we have to remove this one, otherwise it will throw the error. Okay, see, it's working. If you give this one, it will expect only exports and imports. Let me add this one. You see, give this one, it will export import. Instead of require, it is expecting the import. Okay, so this is about exports, imports and require things, guys. We will meet in the next video. Thank you for watching.